Hey everyone, it's Fox from modelmaking.guru here, and welcome to our next instalment in the little diary of our build of the Bandai Master Grade Heavyarms Gundam 1/100 scale. As you can see, the fella himself is now done. I've put some temporary hands on there. Everything's painted, done. Everything moves apart from the two pods on the back I told you about last time. I had to glue those shut. The head is now on and moves completely. I nearly snapped an antenna off when I was trying to move the head around, so that was kind of hairy. Touched up the green eyes and the sensors because they weren't looking quite shiny enough. Around the back we have the ammunition drum is now attached, and painted the thrusters on the back. These were originally painted flat aluminium. They have had a coat of matte varnish. Then they were touched up with some Tamiya chrome silver, which is a really nice shiny silver colour, just on the edges here to highlight it. And inside we've got some Starship filth and engine grease just to darken it up and make it look like a working thruster with all the soot and grime inside. Shield, I was worried about the shield. I thought with the arm, with the problems I'd had with cracking plastic, I thought maybe I wasn't going to be able to take the shield on and off and just have to leave it either glued to the arm or glued to the Gatling. Or not glued, but installed permanently. But it seems to be removable without too much hassle, so I can send this to the client with the shield so he can put it wherever he wants it. But yeah, figure is now done. Everything's looking spanky. I still love Gundam feet. I still seriously love Gundam feet. So he's done. Where else have we got? I'll just put him to one side. I'll put him where you can see him, because he's kind of awesome. I'm having trouble fitting him on camera, I'll be honest with you, so I'll just put him there. The Gatling is completed. Gatling has been done. Da-da! We have all the decals on. The ammunition belt is attached. And when it is installed, it goes into the back of the ammunition bin and it flexes, because it's kind of like a plasticky rubber strip inside, and these all just slot on. Painting those wasn't so bad. They're painted... What did I paint them? Painted gunmetal, actually. These and the main body of the Gatling gun I painted Tamiya gunmetal. Now, I'd never actually airbrushed gunmetal before. I'd brush painted it and it always looked really dark and kind of like a shiny black with flecks in it. But when you airbrush it, it gives this completely different colour. More like gunmetal, strangely enough. So those were airbrushed gunmetal and then have been dry brushed with some chrome silver just to give some accents and highlight. You won't see on camera, but there are some little metallic areas around corners and edges. This part, and the black bit here were painted tyre rubber black, and then dry brush with some chrome silver just to give a little bit of scratching on the paint. And the silver and gold came out quite nicely. Not quite bright silver and gold, but I wasn't really going for a really bright silver and gold. I was going for a slightly faded look on those. It is a used weapon. It's not fresh from the factory. So having everything else weathered and having these parts nice and shiny and bristling like they've just come from the factory didn't really make much sense. So these have been given a wash of smoke just in the little corners, just to darken the edges between the gold and the silver. I think a little bit of the chrome silver was dry brushed over the silver there. And then on the end we've got, again, this was flat aluminium. It was given a couple of washes of smoke. Little tiny bit of Starship filth was dry brushed on the muzzle and around the rest of the gun, and then highlights were put back in with the chrome silver. So I'm quite pleased with that. It's pretty spanky. It does fit. You can attach it. You can hold it. I had to glue the hand on. The hand that grips the Gatling didn't really want to stay either attached to the Gatling or in the hand in here. He's got another hand in there for now. So what I had to do was glue the hand onto the Gatling. You're going to use it for anything else, so this is glued on, so it's not going to go anywhere. So when you do mount it on the figure, the gun isn't going to droop because the hand's loose. If it's going to droop, it's going to droop because the hand is coming out of the bit the hand goes in. It locks into this part of the hand here. So this part is attached to the gun, and this part is that. You take this bit of hand out, and it just snaps into place. So if the gun does droop or wobble, it's because that's loose in there, not the hand's loose on the gun. So that's a good solution to that one. I've seen other people do that as well, so it seems to be the norm. Weapons don't really stay in place on these kits. So the gun is done. What else have we got? I've also started work on the Action Base. I'll just move this so you can see it. Very carefully. Started work on the Spanky Action Base. Have a whole collection of parts here. Not finished it yet. This is a standard Bandai Action Base, compatible with their 1/44 and 100 scale Gundam. It was the black one. It was primed, then it was given some pre-shading with Tamiya rubber black. It was then spray painted lightly with some white, just to give it an off-white colour, and so the pre-shading could show through. Then, quite simply, it was slopped in 502 Abteilung engine grease, just completely covered, and then that was all rubbed off. And then it was slopped in 502 Abteilung Starship filth, and that was all rubbed off with a soft cloth. And what you're left with is all the panels are slightly discoloured, and everything collects in these grooves. So it's really nice. The engine oil, engine grease is quite a brown colour. The Starship filth tones that down a bit. So that's come out quite nicely. It's spray black underneath. I've got to touch that up. That's where it's been touched on the surface. Before the oil paints were put on, it was given a coat of matte varnish. I wanted a slightly grainy texture. I could have done a gloss varnish and it would have been nice and smooth, but I wanted a slightly grainy texture to this, so I used a matte varnish instead. You also have the arm that the Gundam poses on. I can't really handle it too much because the oil paints only went on earlier on today, so it's going to take a few days before this is properly handleable and installable. But it does work. This goes up and down. This bit rotates. That locks into one of these holes. This piston here that's not fully assembled will lock in there, and it will basically sit on the stand. Thusly, I hope you can see all this. Sit on the stand, and that's where that goes on the end of the Gundam. And you can adjust it so it goes up and down and sticks further forward. There's also a nameplate, which I've left a little lighter because I'm going to put the decal on there. So once that's dried for a few days, I'll assemble that base. Then I'll do lots of spanky photography, and then it's ready to send off to the client. So this needs to dry for a few days. There's a few little bits on the figure himself that need to dry, just for a bit more, because oil paints, as I've always said in all my other videos, and you'll know anyway now, oil paints take forever to dry fully. Before you can varnish anything done with oil paints, you've got to let it dry fully. So once everything is done and everything built, I'll probably leave it for a few days, then give it one last blast of matte varnish just to seal everything, and then it's time to make a box for this chap and send him off. So what we'll do one last catch up when he's done, when the base is done, just to show you. I mean, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to fit it on camera, to be honest. It might just be some still shots, because I can't even fit him on a camera when he stood up. So when he's on this stand and about 2 feet high, I don't know how I'm going to do that. So yeah, we'll have one more episode when he's done anyway. It might just be a collection of still shots. I'll also show you, before we send it off, we're going to make a, like I did with my Millennium Falcon commission, I'm going to make a little wooden box, shipping box to send him in. So I'll give you a shot of that as well. If it's interesting, it might just be a wooden box, in which case that's not very interesting. But that's going to do it for this time. It's only a quick catch-up, like I've always said. Tune in for the next one. Tune in for more videos. I've posted up 2 more videos of the D'Agostini Studio Scale Millennium Falcon, so go and check those out. And once this is finished, I'm on a new commission then for the Revell 1/72 scale U-boat. So I'm not sure if I'm going to video that one yet. I might do. I might not. It's quite an involved job, so I might not do that. I may do little updates like this. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, take care of yourselves. Thanks for watching. Tune in for more. And as always, adios amoebas.